young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word a computer is. They don't know. They don't know these things. And I want the world open up to all of them, because when you have their diverse voices innovating solutions through technology, then you're really addressing society's broader challenges.
I wanted y'all to make sure that y'all definitely heard what you just heard in that 19 seconds. That was Governor of New York, Kathy Hochul, literally sitting, having this discussion at something called the Milken Institute, something conference. I'm not exactly sure, never heard of it. And telling this person, whoever's interviewing her, and this audience that's listening, that black kids growing up in the Bronx don't even know what a computer is. Now that's a two-tier stereotype right there. One, to insinuate that black kids are dumb or they're too poor to know what a computer is, and two, they don't have access to at least a computer. What? Now let's hypothetically say they didn't have access to a computer. It doesn't insinuate that they don't know what a computer is. And if they have a smartphone, which they probably most likely do, that means they have access to a computer, because a cell phone, well, a smartphone anyway, is nothing more than a handheld computer nowadays anyway. Because let's be real here, a lot of people will choose to text and type and be on social media more than anything, rather than probably actually using the phone, which is to actually dial a number and call someone. I'm willing to bet if you pulled up percentages, calling someone on a smartphone is probably at the bottom of the list in the percentages wise of what people choose to do on their phone. But this woman sat up there and actually said out of her mouth that black kids growing up in the Bronx do not know what a computer is. Keep in mind, this is the same woman, along with her partner in crime, Eric Adams, who are opening the door for a whole, well, not even opening the door's already open, but they have allowed a wave of criminality to come into their state, into their cities, into their boroughs over the last year. And she's going to sit up there and actually say that. What have I told y'all? The insulting of my intelligence is probably one of the worst things that you can do, whether you are in front of me or if I have to hear about it. And then this is what's being put in front of me. But this is the governor, y'all. This is the governor of New York. I don't know what it's going to take for her to not get back in office or get reelected, but her and Eric Adams both need to be up out of there. That is crazy that she said that, and she said that with her whole chest. She didn't even mince words. She didn't have a quote-unquote Freudian slip and try to catch herself and try to say something else. No, and she didn't say, notice, she didn't say quote-unquote minorities or people of kids of color. She said black kids. She was specific when she said black kids. Now, you got to be careful when you also say black kids, because remember, this is the Bronx we're talking about, and we know the Bronx hosts mainly Puerto Ricans. If you know the geographical surroundings of the Bronx, it's mainly Puerto Ricans up there, and if there is a black population up there in the Bronx, it's not very big. It's very small. Like, they are considered the minority in the Bronx. Just like if you go to Washington Heights, that's mainly where you'll find a lot of Dominicans. Not saying there's not any black people there, but it's not a lot either. It's not it's not a huge enclave. But she was very specific when she said that. She narrowed it down to a particular group of people, a group of kids. When she said black kids growing up in the Bronx don't know what a computer is. That is so disrespectful and dismissive. But look at who she is. I knew something was off about her when I first saw her face. Before I even knew anything about her, before I even knew her name, I looked at her and already knew without the shadow of a doubt this woman was going to be an issue. And my hunch was more than correct. And I'm almost certain that many other people probably felt and thought the same exact thing. But she said that with confidence. She said that with the utmost and didn't hold back. And I bet you not one person in that room checked her on it either. I can just about guess what the audience looked like demographic wise. Most of them most likely looked like her. It was probably not even a black person in the room, which is probably why she felt comfortable saying it, because She most likely didn't say that in front of another black person, and there was probably not a black person in the room, so that's why she felt comfortable. Notice that a lot of the times when they say insulting things about us, they do it behind our back because they already know what will happen if those of us who are on code will actually say. Now, what I thought was also interesting too is because I actually saw this video on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, is you had a lot of people who are on the so-called right responding to this and saying, see, black people, this is what Democrats think of you. See, they're racist and all this type of stuff like that. Well, number one, we already know that, so you're only preaching to the choir. We don't need you to reiterate something for us we already knew. Two, if that's your way of trying to sway black people to vote for you or be on your side, keep on swinging for the skies, because it ain't happening. We know exactly what kind of verbiage that is and what you're trying to do, but y'all are no different. You proved that over and over again. As a matter of fact, I think this year more than any, I think y'all really shown how much in sync you are with each other than separate, like you've been trying to portray for these last, I don't know how many years. Like I told you, two wings attached to the same buzzard. I'm glad that my two wing same buzzard theory is still alive and kicking and will be going on even after November 5th. So when I was looking at those comments, I said, y'all think y'all slick. Y'all trying to make it seem like, oh, one is, see, they're bad and everything, they're evil. Why don't you just come over here with us? No. Y'all are just as bad, if not worse, because guess what? If it wasn't Kathy Hochul saying it, it would have been someone on that side saying it too. Let's not be dent here. Let's not try to apply to wear a dunce cap. So y'all can keep that narrative to yourself. I mean, we know what you really want to happen. And then let's hypothetically say people go over there. What are they going to get? All you got to do is bring up one thing, reparations, and watch both sides squirm. Bring up qualified immunity. Watch both sides squirm. Bring up establishing an anti-black hate crime bill and watch them squirm and shake. Again, two wings attached to the same buzzard. So nice try, but like the late great Aaliyah said, dust yourself off and try again. But I don't know how much more trying you can actually accomplish because the damage has already been done. And that goes for both parties as it pertains to black people, specifically foundational black Americans. But as for Kathy Hochul in this comment, I'm not surprised that this came from her. I'm just glad that now we don't have to sit here and guess how people feel about us. They are living their life outside and in the open and free. So no, we don't have to just sit here and guess. And the thing is, now we have receipts, a visual receipt on her. So if she tries to do the whole, oh, I'm not this way, I'm not that way, here's a video right here. And you can't say we took it out of context either, because we heard her say it. Because you know it's going to be someone out there that's going to try to defend her and say, well, you don't have all the context, you didn't see the whole thing. I don't need to see the whole thing. As far as I'm concerned, anything that was said before or after this doesn't even matter. What was said in this 19-second clip was all I needed to hear, and all I will ever care to hear as it pertains to how she feels about us, specifically our kids. She literally said that about black youth. She didn't say that just about black people in general, although she probably wish she probably could, but she said that about black people and black kids not knowing what a computer is. Like I said, they may not own a computer or a laptop, whatever it is, or even a tablet, but I can guarantee you they'll know what a computer is. They've used one. I'm sure whatever school they go to provides computers for them to use. So I don't know what the hell she's talking about. I do know this one thing though. I bet you old Kathy won't go down to the Bronx and tell those black people that are there at the Bronx to their face or their children's face what she said on this panel. Because again, she said it in a place of comfort. I bet you she would not go down there. And you know what? I don't know how many of my subscribers I have live in New York or live near the Bronx, but I need to hear from y'all in the comment section about what y'all thought about what she said right here. Because I'm sure there were a lot of pissed off people who live in the Bronx, who have children, if they are black or black identified, what did they have to say when she made this comment? Again, this is a sitting governor of a state, not of a borough, not of a county or a city, of an entire state that said this about the Bronx and the black kids that are there, specifically the black kids that are there. Like, really let that sink in. Sometimes a simple Google search is all it will take. Now, the article not the article, but the video I just played for you has already made its rounds, and I found this in one of the Discord servers that I'm in. So remember how she said black kids in the Bronx don't know what a computer is? Well, literally in the Bronx, they have a school that's dedicated to at least technology. I don't know if it's called High School of Computers and Technology, but it sounds like that possibly could be what it's called. What it's called Bronx High School for Writing and Communication Arts. So there's literally a category for it there. Now, like I said, this woman is the governor of a whole state. You should know all of the landmarks and the surroundings in schools in your state. How can you sit up there and say that black kids in the Bronx have no clue about what computers are when there's literally a school there that specializes in technology and communication and the arts and the like? She literally shot herself in the foot with this one, but she also exposed her anti-blackness at the same time.